It's Saturday, July 27th, and this is Drive Check, a Cardfight Vanguard podcast. Brought to you by the generosity of our patrons, Mewwill, Alan Camacho, Wesley Welch, and Alex Cajka.
I'm exhausted, dude.
Yeah, I understand. I'm exhausted too. I was at a birthday party today, and we played Root, which is an absolutely exhausting
But it's so
game.
good, though.
Yeah.
Cole, have you ever played Root?
Logan tried to teach me, and I don't.
You walked away from it.
Yeah.
Because Alec was there, and then I also don't do
Yeah.
really complicated games very well.
Well, it's actually fun.
So-
Will kind of destroyed us.
It's a lot of fun. But here's the thing. You have to watch a video tutorial before you start playing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't expect to sit down with somebody and literally while I was explaining the rules to everybody today, since they hadn't watched the video tutorial, one person in the room who wasn't playing with us said, "Have you guys started playing yet?" Because I think it was literally 45
Wow.
minutes in, and I was still explaining how
Oh my gosh.
it doesn't help when people are drinking. But,
That never helps.
that's out of my control. But here's the issue, the real complaint of the day, of the moment, of whatever. So, Cole, you and I are going to GenCon in, boy, I'm going to see you in like 4 days from now or something
Yeah,
like that.
happiness.
I still haven't done laundry, still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with my cat. But, so I'm looking at events. So many people are so pumped for the My Hero Academia TCG, which we can talk about in our TCG news around the world.
Yep.
You can explain that a little more. But I looked up possibly the only game that I am interested in trying at Gen Con. Alan, what game is the only game I am possibly interested in trying at Gen Con?
Why do you put me in these positions, man?
Because you're supposed to know me. You're supposed to
I
be
am
my
supposed
friend.
to be your friend, but you play so many games.
What is the one game that I talked about? We went to PAX Unplugged and we said, "Is this game here?"
Oh. Oh, God. No, I have it and don't have it. Lost it. No.
What? Give me a description if you don't know the
Cole,
exact
help me
name.
out.
It's not Kamigami, the newest set, is it?
No.
Okay. Well, is it like a trading card game, or is it
It
a
is
board
absolutely so far out of my wheelhouse. It's nothing I've ever played before.
game? Was it triplane or biplanes and tripods?
Planes and
Triplanes and
bots.
tripods.
That one.
Yes. So they have demos for it at
Really?
Gen Con for $6 a demo, and they're all sold.
You gotta pay to demo.
It's a miniatures
Cole,
game. It takes
what
time.
have we learned about? No. We have learned that Gen Con this year is charging for everything.
Yes.
We had to pay for tickets to see the Tuesday night
What?
podcast.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Oh, how much was that? So I can get you back
like
for that.
$2.
Oh, man,
that's too
my
much, man.
blood.
I would not.
Whatever. Don't get me back, but buy Micah a ticket. Because he just got his pass yesterday.
Okay, good. Okay. Because that's another thing.
Yeah, Gen Con decided. So today, we're recording on Saturday. We're very last minute with this week's recording. Gen Con decided on Friday that sellout or no sellout, they were going to stop selling full week and Saturday passes at midnight on Friday.
Why would they do that?
But they didn't let enough people know.
And
so
they didn't let
a lot
enough
of people
time.
who were waiting to today to buy their
Oh, God.
passes are locked
Sorry.
out.
Yep.
But we're going to still have our tournaments. We've got people signed up for our tournaments. If anybody's coming to Gen Con, feel free to come to our tournaments. We have, what is it? One's on Friday at 1 p.m.
That's premium.
Premium. One's on Saturday at 1 p.m.
That's standard.
Standard. They are $10 per entry. It's slated for 5 hours. I'm not expecting them to last 5 hours.
No.
Are we doing like best of 3 50 minutes rounds?
Probably. I think it depends on how many people show up.
Yeah. So prizes for the premium competition, we have, if you come in first place, you get a full box of premium collection and a full box of revival collection. If you come in second place, you get to pick whether you want a box of premium collection or a box of revival collection. And if you come in third, you get whatever the other guy didn't pick.
Wow. That's a good way to describe it.
I mean, that's the way it works. You get a full box.
That's awesome.
It's just the leftover box. For the standard competition, the winner gets a box of Unite Q4. Is that what that says for the first set?
Yeah. Team Q4.
Team Q4 and
Unite
a
Team Q4.
box of Strongest Team AL4. If you come in second place, you get to choose one box of either Q4 or AL4. And if you come in third, you get whatever's left over. The second place person didn't pick. And the reason we did that was, it's. I think that's nice prizes to get like a full box of something, and I picked those particular sets because like between Q4 and AL4, you're gonna get Royal Paladins, Oracle Think Tank, Nova Grapplers, Kagero, Shadow Paladins, Dark Irregulars, Pale Moon, and Murakumo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did I get them all right? And like, not only that, but like, I think in the first set, well, first off, perfect guard draw triggers potentially in all of those. And the first set has those nice gold embossed possible gift markers, imaginary gift markers.
The signed ones too.
Yeah, the signed ones as a possibility, and like the fancy blaster blade as a possibility that you could pull. The AL4 set has the Phantom Blaster Dragon possibility that you could pull. So I was like, it's a good spread of clans that are popular clans.
Good value too.
There's potential. Well, yeah, there's potential to pull something like really exciting, and then with, and premium collection, revival collection, those are pretty much the only things that have come out for support for premium. And revival collection has the potential for Gize cards, and premium collection has what did they have that was special besides the progenitor dragon? Obviously, you're getting a progenitor dragon, whatever box you get. So
are you talking about like? Besides all the strides, the new broken, busted strides.
Yeah, but did they have any like special foiling cards?
Yeah, they had like hot
Supers
stamps
VRs or
too.
Yeah, hot stamps.
Okay, so
which aren't worth much more, but I mean that's a thing.
But I'm just like, there's nice stuff that can be pulled.
Yeah,
from these,
yeah,
right?
for sure.
So I was just thinking that's probably the best value, and then everybody who enters. Depending on the number of total people we have who enter, we have packs of Violus Deleter to give out as an entry gift, and that's also nice because that was like our like third choice for standard and everything, because the VDRs, Violus Deleter rares, are pretty good chase cards and everything like that.
A lot of shiny in that set.
So. Tomorrow I have pre-release for Glorious Justice, I think.
Is that tomorrow?
Is it really? I think it is tomorrow.
I'll check the Island Games website.
Am I miscalculating?
It's next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we're going to be at GenCon for it.
Yeah, but there's no pre-release at GenCon, so...
Let me look at...
I told Brittany the wrong thing, so shame on me. That's okay. Cole, you are probably the only person who has gotten a chance to play Vanguard. I did not get to play Vanguard last weekend. I did get my Messiah cards in the mail, and I built a Messiah deck while you and I were on the phone. and now it's in this special. So when I was in Minneapolis, I don't know if I mentioned this, but Trevor bought me this deck box that's like really cool. It like has a magnetic top, but the top's not attached, so you can kind of like reconfigure the deck box and everything by moving the magnets around.
That's cool.
But it's like European, and you can't buy it anywhere in the States that I can find. I guess maybe obviously some stores have it. But that's now my special deck box that my Messiah.
Oh, so special.
Nice.
Yeah. So I have a Messiah deck. I have a Brant. I did not have to take anything out of my Brant deck to build my Messiah deck, at least so far. But I guess I'll be playing that tomorrow at Island Games and just seeing how well that does with me having never played it and not really knowing 100% what the cards do. But Cole,
you got it, fam.
Yeah. Have you played any?
Yeah, I played at Monsters 2-deck on Monday. I did not play Friday because I went to a Lizzo concert, but Monday, it was
a concert with the performer Lizzo.
Correct. Yes. Pardon me. She sold out that arena, by the way, which is pretty neat.
Oh, anyway. I believe it. She's very popular these days.
Yeah. I played Blade Master, a really jank version of Blade Master.
Well, you get those vision tokens. How jank can it be?
Okay. It's jank. It's jank because the whole thing only works if you get the grade 2. I never got the grade 2 until it was too late.
How many are you running?
4. You have to run 4. You have to run 4. And I never got it, so I couldn't board wipe. I think I board wiped 2, maybe 3 times that entire night. It was just mess. It was a mess. But it works very well against Bermuda. So I got to tweak my build. I gave back the Greats and the Waterfalls that I was borrowing from Jalen and Jordan. So I no longer have those in my deck, which is fine. I'll just I'll bring down the rarity some. Maybe it'll do a little bit better. And then I played Beast Deities. Oh no, I played Genesis. That's what I was gonna play Beast Deities, but there's too much thinking for that night because learning Blade Master and Beast Deities at the same time did not seem like a good time to me. So I played Genesis because I was hyped, and I haven't played Genesis in a while.
Dude.
And it's fun. That's about all I got.
Beast Deities is so easy. You just call a unit and smash your opponent in the face. That's all you need to do. Just keep hitting the face.
But Illuminal Dragon just kept, like, I know it's a good card, and I kept reading it over and over again, and it didn't
click.
it was not computing. Yeah. And Alex Wilson at our shop, he plays Novas a ton, and was showing me kind of like
setups,
key things to do with the deck. Yeah, setups and whatnot. And they made sense. I was not in the brain space in order to perform that. But I did learn that the grade 1, I don't remember its name, but the grade 1 Beast Deity, not Scarlet Bird, but the new one.
Oh, the green one? I can't remember the name right now. But yeah.
Green or blue, whatever, yeah. It's essentially your beat stick. So you're just restanding him, and he's just swinging over and over and over again. Because you give it 5k with Kick Typhoon, so it becomes a 13k attacker, so it hits anything, essentially. Barring they get a critical trigger, but then you just use Illuminal Dragon to stand it and give it power, and it restands constantly and just keeps swinging. So that was really cool. But that was pretty much my Vanguard. Not much happened.
Well, that's not bad. I mean, at least you get to play.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, I did try Shahrat in my Dark Irregular premium build, which is neat, but I need to play it more to fine-tune it. But that's a lot of fun.
And Alan, have you played?
No, I mostly spend my time just building decks. I did not build heroes because, I kind of just tired of playing the same stuff over and over again. Will is kind of controlling my don't go out there and start buying decks like a crazy man.
Yes. Or as in, no, do not go out and buy more decks when you keep complaining that you have too many decks and you never play and blah, blah, blah.
But spikes are calling me. They are calling me.
Are you going to be at Island tomorrow?
Probably. I just checked the Island game calendar, and it's on next weekend. It's the pre-release, so you will be at GenCon.
Yeah. So there you
Sadness. I will go there and buy you a pack of sneaks.
But
that's fine.
I don't need sneaks. I ordered a clan set, but as long as we'll be able to.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely want to. I
tomorrow
definitely
night.
want to play. I want to try that hero deck. It just feels funny, and I
got to play my Mastarials with my spicy techs.
Yeah, mine has been built off suggestions from the Discord and stuff, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, those people play.
All right, we were supposed to be doing a quick show today or program, and we're already 15 minutes in. So Cole, tell me about the My Hero Academia TCG.
Okay.
It's based on a particular platform, something like that.
Yeah. So you guys have heard of Weiss Schwarz, right? How it takes.
I believe so, yes.
Well, I'm talking to listeners specifically, but it takes previous existing properties and kind of turns them and applies them to an existing game, essentially. And there is a company who does essentially the same thing. It's Jasco Entertainment, I believe, and they are. I think they've rebranded their UFS card game, which was like it was essentially Weiss Schwarz, but for like more Western properties. And I think they.
So it's like the Ultimate Fighting System or something like that.
Yes, correct. So they've rebranded it, I guess, and apparently the new stuff works with the old stuff as well. And good old Tim Smith on the Twitters, I guess Nerddom on the Twitters, was talking to me about it, and it is pretty sweet. They're gonna have a demo. They're gonna have multiple demos for it at GenCon that I need to sign up and do.
They're gonna have multiple demos for My Hero Academia.
My Hero Academia, but they have
through UFS.
Correct. Yeah, they also have announced that Yu Yu Hakusho is also going to be.
Nice.
I'm in.
Nice.
I know, right?
Spirit Detective Will Anderson. I'm
exactly. Yeah, so I guess they've started showing previews for that already at jascogames.com if anyone wants to look at those. But yeah, I'm very excited to stop in and see how the game plays and report back. So keep your eyes and ears peeled, boys and girls.
Yeah, and also, boys and girls, please stop asking us to get you a Bakugo card. Either pay for your own Gen Con admission or get out my DMs. Thanks.
But hey, I'm gonna need everyone that goes with us to get these Argent Saga promos, because there might be some people in my shop who might pay some mucho dinero for those. So.
Oh my word! Look, we are not.
You are my mule. All right, you go there and you get
what do you
X-wing stuff.
Okay,
for
I will
me.
get you X-wing. I will get you X-wing. That's different. That's like
there you go.
Egos,
there you go. I like that.
What else do we have? Oh wait, so we had Ultimate Fighting System, and wait. Oh, so you tried Buddy Fight tonight too,
dude. I always wanted to try Buddy Fight, but I was sleeping on it before. Like, it is so much fun. It's a quick game. Well, okay, I'm gonna talk about something in a bit that is not fun, but every deck that I've seen and looked at and read so far plays very differently than any other deck. Like, they find really unique things about the game and they expand upon it, which I
so
really appreciate. So
it's kind of like the root of trading card games?
Sure. It's been out longer than Root has, but sure. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. And even with all of the new collaboration stuff that's coming out, like, they still play differently than existing stuff, which I really appreciate. Also, the game's very simple. It's easy to pick up, so that's pretty sweet. But what's not sweet is there was a mechanic released, I think it was last year, called Lost World. And essentially, what happens is when you draw there's a flag card, which is just essentially tells you what kind of deck you can play, like if there are any restrictions in how you can build it and whatnot. Lost World is a flag that is put into your deck as one of your main 50 cards. And when you draw it and play it, you get rid of your deck completely. You remove it from the game, and you bring in this whole separate, I think it's 20 or 30 card deck. I don't remember exactly. And you shuffle that up, and then you play from there. Those cards are a lot more powerful. There is no like size limit or anything to them, and they are swinging for game essentially. But it's so hard to compete with that if you personally do not have that as well, which sucks. However, they did introduce a starter set, essentially like a starter deck just for the Lost World, which is pretty neat, although it's very sought after because it's how you compete. But anyway, I really don't like the Lost World thing, but I like how almost every deck can have it included.
Okay, so any deck. So there's multiple Lost World decks.
Well, there's Lost World cards
that you can include in any deck
that can be used with. Yeah, essentially, yeah. Yep, but they're their own separate deck.
It's having like a sideboard, basically, like a sideboard deck.
A sideboard that's in. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. So I think the idea is really cool, but it's super strong. I think it's a little too strong. Granted, you can only have 2 of those flag cards in your deck, and you have to get to them in order to even get to your the Lost World deck. But you draw a lot in that game, so
it sounds like Gisei when Gisei came out, and Angel Feathers were
exactly
the deck to have a Gisei on.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just stupid.
Yeah. Yep.
Now I have Gisei cards I've never even played.
Tier.
Still no Moegido, though.
But yeah,
maybe somebody will get me that for Christmas.
Maybe.
I really like Buddy Fight, and I think I'm gonna go.
In this area, I think Buddy Fight.
You love every.
I think Buddy Fight in this area is up in Maryland,
like
not even close to where we are.
Oh yeah, I don't know what happens at Island outside of Sundays, but I can't do.
No, I can't. We can't keep trading card games.
Yeah, it's hard for me because I'm looking at more and more stuff, and I'm just like, ooh, this looks like tons of fun. Ooh, this looks like tons of fun. And I know Nick in Discord would agree with me that it's simple and addicting looking at these cards because they look like so much fun.
Nick Gidillini lives a life of leisure.
He does.
All he needs to worry about is trading card games. He's like, to me, like my image of Nick Gidillini is. Did you ever watch Futurama?
I've watched some, yeah.
Okay. Do you remember they had the robot that was
the Caesar?
Like the super, like with the super rich.
I know which one you're talking about.
Like, what was his name? He was like always on a like reclining chair and carried around by other robots and everything. Like that's Nick Gidillini right there.
Hedonism bot. It's hedonism bot. Hedonism bot.
Hedonism bot. Hedonism bot. That's it. Oh, good Lord. All right, I didn't watch the cartoon today, so we can't talk about it.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, there's not much to talk about, but...
Is it?
Greg Van Ord had commented to us that we made an error in referring to Shin, who is the protagonist of the upcoming new season of the cartoon. Shinamon, I think is his name. That we kept saying that he was Misaki's uncle when he has, in the V era, been converted to Misaki's cousin. I'm not certain why that's important, but... That was an error that we had made.
And just for me, I got a little bit overhyped with the Arrestor card. Might be good, might not be so good. Now that I think of Central Arrestor,
Central Arrestor.
I mean, it's I got super excited, but once I started like going into my deck and looking into it, I feel like it's situational unless you're going full-blown dueling dragons and no Chirajuki, which is a mistake.
Yep.
Okay, speaking of mistakes, I have another issue now that I'm catching up on our documentation and our planned script for this evening.
Uh-oh.
Was there never a plain Hyaki Vogue?
Nope, they
Correct,
were not. It was only a reverse.
Oh.
I know, I was like, I spent a good 5 minutes looking for it. But no, it's reverse is the only Hyaki Vogue. There's tons of other Hyakis, but that's the only Hyaki Vogue.
In original G-Era, it was only a reverse card.
Well,
Yeah.
Pre-V-Era.
G-Era, I said.
Well, I know, but like reverse cards were before there was a G.
True.
So I guess our old card, new card of the day. Let me do the old Hyaki Vogue because obviously that's near and dear to my heart, and I still need to buy one for my 0 damage Glendios defeats Gize deck.
I can lend you mine. I have 4.
That no one plays.
Do you have 4 Hyaki
I
Vogue
have
reverse?
every printed out Murakumo card before it came out with V Series.
You just sometimes I wonder how you feed your child. Covert Demonic Dragon Hyaki Vogue reverse with the R facing the other way. Limit break 4 on the Vanguard Circle, activated ability. Choose 2 of your Murakumo rear guards and lock them. That's why I love this. Choose up to 3 of your Covert Demonic Dragon Hyaki Vogue reverse, and those units get power plus 10k until end of turn. So lock 2, get plus 10k for 2 other Hyaki Vogue reverse, and I'm sure there was some method to give other cards in the front row the name Hyaki Vogue reverse. Auto on the Vanguard Circle, Counterblast 2. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard Circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 card named Covert Demonic Dragon Hyaki Vogue reverse, call it to a rearguard circle, shuffle your deck, and at the end of that turn, return that unit to your hand. Well, you could get 1, not 2.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. So you'd have to have had another one. Oh, well, on your next turn. There you go. Because you're returning it to your hand, so then you can Counterblast 2 again, hopefully. And it was a Lord.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Alan, tell me about the V-era Covert Demonic Dragon Hyaki Vogue. Not
reversed, unfortunately. So we got a Grade 3 normal unit Murakumo Abyss Dragon with an Axle gift. Once per turn, activated ability costs Counterblast 1 and discard a card from your hand and search your deck for up to 1 Covered Demonic Dragon Hyaki Vogue. Call it to rearguard circle, shuffle your deck, and if you have 5 or more units, all of your units with the same name as this unit get power plus 10 until the end of turn. So
that's a
very similar skill
like.
and previous pre-V-era Hyaki's decks were all about having your units get the Hyaki name. One of the last supports for Murakumo that came out had support for a Hyaki build. A lot of cards that wouldn't place from like deck or called or whatever, they would get the Hyaki name automatically. Or stuff like that. There was another Grade 3 Hyaki that had another name that when was placed, it had to continue saying this unit can also be regarded as Hyaki Vogue reverse. So it's somewhat similar to that, and from what we've seen with some of the cards that we'll discuss later in the show, that the thing for getting the same name is also coming up in other cards too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. News me up, Cole. What do we got?
So,
wait. One more thing about reverse.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that lore thing about Lukier's hair color?
Yeah, that Bronson talked about.
Is that real?
I don't know. I mean, he just looked it up. I don't remember
What
exactly
was
what
it?
it was.
I'm
It was
lost
like-
in this conversation.
Oh, that's like her Lukier's hair color was one color, and then it changed to like red when she was reversed, and then it was another color.
It was like a silver
afterwards.
color in the like.
Yeah, silver or white.
Yeah, and then it's like another color as like recognition of the power of the reverse that she learned to control or something like that. So Micah Jacobson, if you're listening, you're the lore expert. Look this stuff up and figure it out. Thanks.
Okay, so I kind of goofed a little bit. I'm gonna briefly go over. Well, I didn't. It's just in the doc. I'm gonna briefly talk about Mordred Phantom's abilities.
Nice.
Or a summarized version of its abilities.
Okay. What is Mordred Phantom?
Okay, so apparently there's a at the end of the episode today, there's like a little preview for what Mordred does. He apparently has an auto skill where every time you call a blaster dark to rearguard circle, you get one imaginary gift force. And then he has a second auto skill where at the end of the battle he attacked, you may restand all your blaster dark on rearguard and they get power plus 10,000. Which that last part we did see confirmation in the anime about that. The first part have not seen, but I think that's probably going to be like a fairly non-light cost to pay for that. Like you probably have to have grade 3 in your soul already and maybe like counterblast something in order to do it, but I assume we'll probably figure that out Tuesday because it just showed up in the anime, so normally that's what happens. I'll go over Nightmare Doll Carol. She's a grade 3 Workoroid Pale Moon. That's important because I think all Nightmare Dolls are Workoroids, but they work off of the Workoroid race. So she gives Excel Gift, power 12k, auto on the Vanguard Circle, when placed, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, put one from among them into your soul, and shuffle your deck. If a grade 3 Workoroid was put into soul, you may call that card to Rearguard Circle. So you get to selectively put a Workoroid into your soul, and then if you put a grade 3, like Alice, into your soul, you get to call it out. Okay? Its second ability is auto on the Vanguard Circle. When your grade 3 rearguard is put into your soul, cost counterblast 1 and discard 2 cards from hand. Ride a Workoroid from soul as stand, and that unit gets drive -1 until end of turn. Whoo-wee.
That seems like a lot.
That's nuts. That seems like a lot, yeah. But like the synergy that it has with Alice, I think, is pretty neat. Plus all the other Workoroids as well. There are some Silverthorn that are Workoroids as well. I don't remember exactly which ones, but those are pretty neat as well.
Oh, so they have to be I get it.
Yeah, they're not name specific. They are race specific, which I think we need more of those in Vanguard. So
agreed.
I really like that card.
Like heroes are a race.
Heroes are a race, correct?
And
well, I mean, Zodiac Time Beasts are as well.
Yeah.
Cyber Dragons. Link Joker tried to make Cyber Dragons a thing, which I hope they come back to because I like that idea.
Oh, trust me, in the Heroic Evolution, there's more support for Cyber Dragons.
Oh, there is? That's sweet.
Yeah. So you could definitely build a full Cyber Dragon deck now.
I like that.
With no question,
Nice.
no problems.
I like that.
So in Phantasmal Steed, as opposed to Aerial Steed, which I just spent $269 on this morning. $269 I didn't have as I'm trying to drive out the door to GenCon. So that's at the end of this end of August. Two sets in August.
Sets in August.
Phantasmal Steed is September?
Wait. Yes.
So for the Pale Moons, we're seeing lots of Nightmare Dolls.
Yeah.
Nightmare Dolls and Silverthorns. That's what you're looking for.
Silverthorns together. Cool. For the Dark Irregulars, what are we seeing there?
Just no set theme necessarily, just better cards for Dark Irregulars. Much better cards. Which is weird because they weren't bad. There just wasn't a lot of synergy.
So it's kind of hard to pull them off, like pull combos off and stuff.
Right.
So they're kind of fixing that.
Yeah, reliably, consistently. Yep, and then Shadows, I think, is working more around Blaster Blade.
Blaster Dark.
And more of the... Blaster Dark, sorry. And more of the 5,000 power units, which we'll talk about later on. And Murakumo is changing names.
Yeah. They're kind of moving away from the dueling dragons and trying to do something different, which I think it's nice.
All right, so tell me the Murakumo that I'm interested in. So maybe Alan, you can. I almost called you Raphael because that's your middle name. That's how tired we are on this Saturday. Tell me about this grade 3 Samurai Chieftain. He's a Murakumo. I hate this card.
Why do you hate it so much? I feel like it's so good though.
All right,
it'll be different.
What is the card?
So we got
different's a word for it.
Grade 3 normal unit, War Beast, Axel Gift, 12k. I didn't say the name. Samurai Chieftain Hyuga. Hyuga! We got an activated ability on the Vanguard Circle. Once per turn, Counterblast 1, search your deck for up to one card with the same grade as one of your opponent's units. Call it to Rearguard Circle, shuffle your deck, and until the end of the turn, change the card name of all of you and your opponent's units to that unit's card's name. That's the first one. Second one, we got another...
Wait. Let's not gloss over this.
We're not glossing over it. We were just gonna discuss the second skill.
All of everybody's units become
whatever I call.
All of my beautiful messiahs, lady battlers, drill monks. All of them become whatever
card
random
I call, yes.
By name.
Yeah.
By name. So. And this is all of my units. So let's say I have a unit that I want to place called Destiny Dealer, and it says you have to have Harmonix Messiah. All of a sudden, I don't have Harmonix Messiah anymore.
It's only during your turn.
It's only during my turn.
Well, during my opponent's turn.
Yeah, sorry, opponent's turn, yes.
This is during my turn.
So you're fine. Unless you have a way to call Destiny Dealer during your opponent's turn.
Who knows? I haven't played that.
So this is all happening.
All right, keep going.
This is all happening in my turn. It's not affecting your turn. The second skill activated on the Vanguard Circle, Soul Blast 1 grade 3, and return all of your opponent's rear guards with the same card name as your or your opponent's other units to the deck and shuffle it. So we got board wiping, people.
Yeah.
Non-targeting, non-removal board wipe.
Yep.
I mean...
unless my cards are locked. Oh, wait.
Nope.
On my defending turn. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, can't you can lock your own during, with the G-Guard, right? In Premium?
In Premium, I can.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's something that you can do, I guess. But I don't know if you would want to, maybe? I don't know. But I like how these go back to...
Yeah, instead of being retired, you're kind of just being shuffled in. But once again, this is a game that it takes time and draws and drive checks to get those units out of the deck. So...
Correct, yeah.
I feel like this kind of goes against that, you know?
The one thing that I really like about this is when I'm playing Angel Feathers, there's a lot of opportunities for me to put stuff on the bottom of my deck, but... Not a lot of opportunities to get them.
Well, there's no way to shuffle it.
Yeah. So now I have an opportunity to shuffle.
This is true, but I mean, awesome. But I think this is good because against clans like Grand Blue and I guess Narukami as well, because Narukami likes to have the Lightning Phoenix or whatever. They like to have that in the drop zone, and also they don't get bound as well. So some cards like to bounce in and out of the bind zone as well, so it shuts down those. I think this is a really interesting way of board wiping. and I'm a big fan. I don't like it against Grand Blue.
Against Grand Blue, it like ruins
out
everything for you because I'm not retiring them and not killing them. I'm just putting them back in your deck, and you need to once again go through your whole deck to try to find that unit to mill.
Yup.
Well,
so it's in the drop zone.
now that I think about it, I just will make sure that I have cards that return back to the drop zone.
True.
And
return back to the drop zone.
Yeah, at the end of the turn, like Skull Dragon and Stormlight Ghost Ship, which we'll talk about later.
So they do the fake
hollow.
Fake hollow.
Yeah.
Everybody watch the first 150 episodes of Bleach. It's great. You don't have to watch the entire series, but the whole 150 first episodes are fantastic.
After that, it goes down.
No, it becomes okay. It's just not the superior.
It goes into 700 fillers, which is why I stopped watching it.
Hi,
hello. Have you ever heard of the term shonen? There you go. All right. So Silverthorns. Do we know what the Silverthorns are doing?
Yeah, these two are really quick. I'm going to go over them pretty quickly.
Okay.
Well, maybe the first one isn't as much, but the second one is. Silverthorn Assistant Irina is a grade 1 Pale Moon War Beast. AK power 10k War Beast. 10k shield. Auto on the rearguard circle. One place from hand. Look at 2 cards from the top of your deck. Put a card from among them into your soul. And put a card from among them on the bottom of your deck. So, a little bit of fixing. Although it does kind of suck when it's placed from hand. But, I mean, that can be mitigated. Auto, when rode upon. Look at 3 cards from the top of your deck. Put any number of cards with Silverthorn in their card name from among them into your soul. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. If you put 2 or more cards in your soul, draw a card. So it's a ride target, and it's also a later game kind of
soul fixing,
rearranging of your deck. Yeah, soul fixing as well. Yep. So I think this card's super good. I think you'd probably want it even if it wasn't. Well, I don't know. I think probably more for Silverthorns, but being able to check the top 2 cards and quote unquote selectively soul charge is pretty neat. So I like that. And then Silverthorn Rising Dragons at grade 2, Abyss Dragon. It's power 9,000, shield 5,000. It has 1 ability, continuous on the rearguard circle. If you call 2 or more cards from your soul this turn, this unit gets power plus 10,000. So on an XL2, it becomes 24,000, which is a nice number that you're looking to hit, which is super cool, and it's not hard to call 2 or more from your soul because you're Pale Moon. So it's a decent, actually it's a really good beat stick, so I like it a lot. Before we move on, there's 2 darker regular cards I really wanted to talk about.
All right, tell me why.
All right, Emblem Master is a grade 2 human 9k power 5k shield. Continuous on the rearguard or guardian circle. If your soul has 7 or more cards, this unit gets power plus 5,000, shield plus 5,000. This card works. Well, first off, that skill works pretty well with Dantarian.
That's a continuous.
Because you can guard with him. Yeah, you can guard with it from his soul. Dantarian can guard with grade 2s or greater from your soul, so it's another target for that. Auto on the vanguard or rearguard circle. When placed, costs counterblast 1. Search your deck and drop zone for up to 3 cards in total with the same card name as one of your units and put them into your soul. If you search your deck, shuffle your deck. So, I get to search my deck for Dimension Creepers, No Life Kings, whatever the heck I need. Like, I literally soul charge up to 3 of the same card for 1 counterblast, which is insane. It's so good. This card fixes a lot of things in this deck. And real quick, the last card I want to talk about, Variance Killer Tail. It's a dark regular human, grade 1, 6k power, 10k shield. Auto on the rearguard circle, once per turn, cost rest this unit. Put a card from your damage zone or drop zone into your soul. If you put a card from your damage zone, put the top card of your deck into your damage zone face down. And if your soul has 3 Variance Killer Tail, countercharge 1 and stand this unit. So it essentially replaces Rockalocus if you are still running that for some reason.
Who's Rockalocus?
It's a grade 1 where if he's soul charged by an effect, you can You give your Vanguard plus 10,000. Also, when he is, I think it's Ruthven who countercharge. Yeah, it's Ruthven who countercharges him if you put him into your soul. So there's that. Plus, a non-grade 2 countercharger is pretty neat. Also, it's not difficult if you use this. What's his face? Emblem Master to search all of her out. You can put her into your soul, and then you can use her ability. So I really like this card. I think it's super sweet.
It's also kind of angel feathery.
Yeah. It replaces Ruthven and Rockalocus. So that's 2 cards. Ruthven does grab stuff from your drop zone, but this is specific from your damage. Or drop zone. Never mind.
You can do them both.
It's good. It totally replaces Rockalocus and Ruthven. So
it also lets you get that card that might have gotten like damage check that you just needed. Even if she's not standing or whatnot, I mean, you still you lost the circle, but you still getting that card that you needed from your drop zone for your damage zone, which is great.
Yeah, you also didn't really lose it, because if you're playing No Life King, which you probably should be playing No Life King, you just gobble her up into the soul, and then you keep going. And, you can restand or re-ride with No Life King. So, these cards are really good. Those 2 cards, I think, really help.
That dude's got no life.
There were other... you're clever. There were other dark regular cards that were introduced or released, revealed, or whatnot, that do a lot of things, but those, I think, were the more important. All right, one more card. This card is really interesting.
Is this the Shadow Paladin?
Yes.
All right, let me go through this. Knight of Respect My Authority, Demna.
I love it. I love it.
Wow. Did you just not know that I used to watch South Park like a decade ago? Here's a bit of trivia for you. You used to not be able to watch South Park in all of Washington, D.C., like back in the 90s when it was originally on, because the only cable provider for the entire city did not carry Comedy Central. Knight of Authority, Demna. Grade 2, normal unit, United Sanctuary Shadow Paladin, is a human. Power, 5,000. It's a grade 2 with 5,000 power, shield 5,000.
Interesting.
Auto on the rearguard circle. When it attacks a Vanguard and it does not hit. Strange. Why would that happen? If your opponent did not call a Guardian during that battle, counterblast 1 and deal a damage to your opponent's Vanguard.
Yeah, this card is like
that
bonkers.
Is baloney. That is no restriction, deal a damage to your opponent's Vanguard. They're at 5 damage. Well, they have no hand. Just knock them.
There is a restriction because they have to not have guarded at all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they have no hand, you just knock them.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah. That's how you win. You don't care about Gust Blaster anymore. You just try to Denma them.
Wow.
Yeah. It's so cool. And plus, it's searchable with Nemains. And I think there's another card that searches for 5,000. I think it's Trumpeter.
It probably is a Trumpeter.
But it's searchable. Yeah, it's searchable, which is great. So I had to include that card.
Oh no, I think it's a very interesting and unique mechanic, right?
Correct.
That they're getting out to us. So.
Yep.
I'm all for it.
I mean, they've been experimenting in the past with the other steed, so why not keep experimenting with the second steed?
Steed? Oh, you mean because it's a phantasmal steed? All right.
Yeah.
So they've given us our product launch schedule for English finally a little later than they had originally promised that they would get it to us, but here it is. All right, ready?
Go.
I'm going to go.
Yep.
I'm going to run
Throw
through
my
it.
wallet out.
This is English. So remember, like in Japan in September, all they get is the new Genesis theme deck.
Correct.
All right. For us, we get the Genesis theme deck, trial deck, whatever, November 15th. And then the full set comes out November 22nd. That includes Genesis,
Nova Grappler,
Nova,
Angel Feather, and Nibatama.
Yeah, so that will be my next big expenditure on Vanguard cards, because I'm getting me them Angel Feathers, and Angel Feathers are going to be good. Although I did rebuild my Angel Feather deck as well, because I bought 4 Incise Angels, and I put not all 4 of them in there. December, getting Great Nature, Gold Paladins, and Neo Nectars, the bad guy team cards. January, we're going to get the Bermuda Triangle. So, see, we're not getting Bermuda Triangle twice in 1 year.
Thank God.
Technically, no.
Because they're pushing it over to January. Nothing in February.
Nothing at all.
Nothing in February.
Well,
nice.
As of right now, there's nothing.
Yeah.
That could be like another premium collection or revival collection, volume 3 or whatever.
March. Shadow Paladins, Narukami, Aquafarce.
Aquafarce? Really?
Aquafarce. Sorry, Brittany. April. Gear Chronicle, ? So you, Cole, are projecting April's going to be Royal Paladins and Neonectars?
Correct. Yep.
Wouldn't they get a Neonectar at the beginning of the year or end of the year?
They did. Yeah. No, they did in December. December's going to have Neonectar.
So my thought process is, where are they going to go? Also, they've been hinting at a lot of G-era characters. Like in March, the Shadow Paladin is Kanzaki, who's the Claret Sword guy. And then the Narukami guy, who was like the branch guy for the Dragon Empire.
Branch manager. Yep, branch manager.
I thought that was Moru, though.
Wait, wow, you said that name so badly. Mamoru Anjo.
I was talking fast. I apologize.
But you just said it so bad. I was like, wait, now it's like I knew what his name was, and now you've knocked it completely out of my head with that pronunciation. So what you're saying is that April would be the Sheehan, Chrono, and Tokuha month.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know if that's fair and balanced.
Well, it doesn't have to be fair and balanced.
Of course not. This is Vanguard. Well, we'll see. I'm not going to make a prediction, but
that's my prediction.
Maybe also, this is what we're going to get.
Like, they were teasing Henri in, like, they have specifically pointed him out watching Aichi and whatnot play. They have specifically...
Who's Henri?
He's the guy who played Vanquishers, who was on the Angel Feather player who played Gavrail. He went to Fukuhara High with
Death Riders or stuff like that. No?
These are these are characters that are so
begins with an R.
Wait, was he the guy with the glasses that Sheehan punched?
No, he punched the Fenrir guy. No, this was in the latest season.
This lore is way too deep. All right.
But what's his name?
Doesn't matter.
Rin's her name, who played Gavriel, and then Henri was in the... Anyway.
Oh, that's right. She was the one who was always eating.
Yep, eating candy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody punched or beat up Henri because he was mean to Sheehan.
No, Henri is not mean. He's very docile.
Well,
he's timid and scared.
One?
It's the Fenrir guy.
God knows. God only knows.
And that was like...
Gisei knows. Right. Gisei knows his name.
So we are on the cusp of My Glorious Justice. It sounds like a 70s movie. It's awful.
My Glorious Justice.
Justice.
So, tell me. We're going to go through the different clans and kind of just give it a high level. This is what you're getting when you're getting your Glorious Justice.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cole, you're the world's, universe's Grand Blue expert. So, Tell me about Grand Blue. What are we getting in this set? What's Cocytus going to do that Basskirk just couldn't get together for us?
So the problem with Basskirk is Basskirk only called one unit. Cocytus fixes that. Cocytus can call 2 units by himself, and then he also can call an additional unit for every grade 3 you have in your soul. So if you were able to tuck cards in with Dandy Romario, or you rewrote, or however you were able to get grade 3s into your soul, you can call that many extra cards with Cocytus. So your soul isn't as much of a necessary resource with Cocytus as it was with Basskirk. That being said, you still want to play Basskirk, because in order to call anything with Cocytus, you have to mill 4 cards, or counterblast 1 as well. But that milling 4 cards adds up very quickly. Maximum, you want to be milling maybe 3 a game. Like when you get to that third one, you're getting
3 total.
3 total. That's 12 cards that you mill with Cocytus, and out of a 49 card deck, if you're not counting your draws for your turn.
No, wait.
Checks.
You're saying you want to mill 3 times.
Yeah, sorry, did I not say
okay,
times?
I'm sorry. The way I heard that was you only want to mill 3 cards total into your drop zone.
No, yeah, you don't have an option. It's 4 cards. 4 cards. So 3 times is the absolute max because of all your damage checks, drive checks, and just regular draws, which you draw a lot in this with this new stuff, which is great. But 3 is like pushing it. He is fantastic. Also, he can get to these Cocytus can get to the same power level that Basskirk could get to, but you have to have 20 cards in soul in order to get 20,000 power and a crit, which would put him at 32,000. So it's the same thing that Basskirk had with a crit. So it's really nice. However, when you're getting really low, you want to be able to get that Basskirk and ride it. And if you milled it or it was in your soul or some reason, there are ways to get it out. And the first one would be Greed Shade, who is grade 2, and he's the one where you discard a card from your hand and you mill 2 cards, and you can add any card from your drop zone except for Greed Shade back to your hand. So you can get that Basskirk back to your hand if you needed to rewrite it, or you can grab triggers if you needed them for shield, or you can grab perfect cards as well. Also, if you have 10 or more cards in your drop zone, he gets 5,000 power, so he becomes a 14k attacker by himself. If you put him on Protect 2, he becomes a 19. And yes, you probably do want to play Protect 2. It just depends on your matchup. Against XLs, most XLs, you probably want to have Force or Protect 2, because you don't want to chew up 2 cards from your hand to guard, with the perfect guard, and then also discarding to pay for the cost. Plus, most of your grade 2s actually stay on the field, so giving them extra shield to intercept with is pretty neat.
Well, they stay on your field until Hyuga comes out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Or any other form of removal. Also, Ripple Banshee is a really good card. When you call it from the drop zone, you Soul Blast 1 card, so you can get that grade 3 that you tucked in to keep safe. Then you draw a card, and then it gets plus 4,000 power. So it becomes a 12k attacker until the end of that turn, which is what most of your boosts are going to be. They're always going to be 12k. Between Dingai Romario, Ripple Banshee, and that's actually kind of it for your boosters. Depending on how you build it, you might throw the Skelly Boys in, but I don't think you really want to, because deck space is getting a little bit tight. So that's Ripple Banshee. Now, some people are playing, actually most people with topping lists I see are playing Seabed Demon Beast Scared deck, which is the grade 3 that gives a Protect gift, and if your drop zone has 30 or more cards, discard all of the cards in your hand This unit gets power plus 30,000 and critical plus 1. So that sounds like a really heavy cost, and the fact that you have to have 30 in your drop zone to get that. However, I was not thinking that when you actually discard your cards, that goes towards counting, or towards your count in your drop zone. So let's say you had
because that's the
25.
Cost.
Yeah. So you had 25 in your drop zone, and your hand had 6 cards. You drop 6 cards in your hand. Boom, 42,000, 2 crit attacker. So I could see stuff with it. It does kind of stink that you have to drop your entire hand, because this form of Grand Blue builds a hand very well because of this grade 2 Storm Ride Ghost Ship, who has the same stipulation that Skull Dragon has, where you can't normal call it, which it can't be called to the Guardian Circle either. So basically, when he attacks, he doesn't have to be called from the drop zone, which is important. You can normal call... Well, actually, because you can't normal call him. So yeah, sorry, pardon me. You do call him from the drop zone with Cocytus, or maybe even Night Mist if you're teching that in. He gets power plus 15,000 until the end of that battle. So that's important in premium. It's until end of that battle. At the end of that battle, draw a card and retire this unit. So it's less power than Skull Dragon, but you get to draw a card as well. And it's a grade 2, which is really good. And he is pretty much, or Storm Ride Ghost Ship is pretty much your MVP of the deck, because he can come out, swing for 24,000 by himself, and then at the end of that battle, he's retired and you draw a card. So it's really neat. I really like that card. Also, another card that I thought I liked when I was when it was initially revealed, and playing with it, I do still really like it. Pat the Ghosty. When Pat the Ghosty is retired from the Guardian Circle, he is bound instead. He's got 4,000 power and 15,000 shield. Also, when your opponent's Vanguard attacks, which is specific to the Vanguard, you can call as many of them from the drop zone as long as you have 10 or more. You can call them to the Guardian Circle, and then their 15,000 shield is added. But then when at the end of that battle, those cards are then bound. So it's like a one-hit, kind of like a, what do they call it, like a safety switch, I guess, technically. Also, with this new build, you're probably going to get rid of your Gust Djinns, because which are your draw perfect cards, because you're already drawing so much with Ripple Banshee and Storm Ride Ghost Ship, and also you're milling a ton with Greed Shade and Cocytus. You probably don't want any more extra draws. So the grade 1 perfect cards, where when they're ridden upon, you can I've been playing them wrong. You can draw a card and then discard a card. I've been playing. I just realized that I've been playing it one
the
place.
New perfect card?
This is how you find Cole was cheating on you.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I don't win, so doesn't matter. But yeah. So,
yeah,
but still,
cheaters never win. Or no, that's quitters. Oops.
Cheaters never prosper. I don't prosper because I never win. So.
All right. Is that all you had to say about the Grand Blues?
Yeah. There are a couple other cards. But that's essentially, those are the main players in the clan in this set.
All right. So that's obviously much more in depth than either Alan or I will be able to go with
Right.
Aquaforce.
Yeah.
Or
Very
Dimension
much
Police,
so.
Since we don't play these particular clans, but for Dimension Police, I went through and just looked at what is available in this set, and the main things to kind of notice are they are supporting both, I guess, like D-Robos is what you would call them.
Yes, dimensional
super
robos.
dimensional robos.
D-Robos, yeah.
And then the alien bad guy monsters.
Yes.
Right? So I don't know if you could do a full deck of either. Well, probably D-Robos more so.
Yeah, but they don't really rely on the D-Robo name in Standard, so...
No, not at all. Well, that's what I'm saying. Because like with the monsters, you would have to use D-Robo, some of the well, not dimensional robos themselves, but some of the other non-monster cards to get anywhere with them.
Yep.
So the big face card, the big new grade 3 is Die Liner.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was there a Die Liner before?
Nope, totally new.
Okay, so one thing to note is that a lot of the cards in this set ask for your Vanguard to have 30k or more. So it's not staged. It's not like 30k, 50k, 70k like we've seen with some D-Robos or Dimension Police before, but they're just saying 30k. So
when you're doing the 30ks, I imagine you also count the boosting, right?
Correct.
Cool.
Yeah. So the first thing that Die Liner does is it gives all grade 3s a 10k shield.
Yep.
So it's encouraging you to run a lot of grade 3s in your deck because you can actually use them to guard with if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Its second skill, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Find a normal unit, aka not a trigger, from among them and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck. If you revealed a grade 3, this unit gets power plus 20, crit plus 1 until end of turn. So basically, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, you're above 30k power.
And a 10k shield
in your hand.
And an additional 10k shield in your hand because you grabbed a grade 3 since you have a lot of grade 3s.
Plus,
but the main thing is...
Yeah, I'm just going to point this in. You can grab the ultimate Dayusha off that grade 3, and then after your Vanguard attacks, if you meet that power threshold and you haven't ridden that turn, then you can Superior Ride and Restand and whatnot.
Is Ultimate Dayusha from the first, the Champions of the Asia circuit?
First, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Ultimate, but yeah. Okay. It was the VR from that set.
All right, so Platinum Ace is one of these ones where it's needs the plus 30k. So basically, during your turn continuous, it gets power plus 5, so it's a 15k grade 2 on attack turn. But once per turn, when it attacks, if your Vanguard is grade 3 with power 30k or greater, Soul Blast 1, it gets additional 10k power, crit plus 1 until end of turn. Why not? And this Platinum Ace is got it in an SP printing. A lot of these have SP printings.
Yeah, there's 3 in every clan have an SP printing. And then
that's like, wow. Well, because they're not doing ORs and IRs
Correct.
anymore.
Correct.
And then Magical Police Quilt is the one that has a cute little winged teddy bear thing. You go from robots to teddy bear ladies. Basically, her dealie is when on place, discard a card from hand, give your Vanguard plus 10k. So now you have a 40k Vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if your Vanguard is over 30k, you can draw a card when it attacks. So that's just another one of them plus 30k dealios. Dizoris.
Ooh, this card.
You get plus 5 for every card in your damage zone. So this is one of the ones when we look at quadrant theory, we're not a huge fan of because it gets power up when you're losing. At the end of the battle it attacked, if your Vanguard is 35,000, I guess I misread that one. I'm sorry. It has to be 35k or greater. Counterblast 1, Soul Charge it, and one of your Vanguards gets power plus 10. So it gets another plus 10 and additional drive.
Mm-hmm.
And the nice thing too is this is a grade 3 and it soul charges itself, and there are some other cards that ask that you soul blast a grade 3.
Mm-hmm.
So why not?
This card is so good.
There you go.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, the fact that it gets extra power you don't really care about. It's a nice little bonus. It's pretty good when you have to force ride it and you're down for some reason.
It's a better card when you're losing. That's the
for the
thing
power
to keep in mind.
for the power itself, but everything else is literally any time. So,
all right, Glory Maker. When it boosts and your Vanguard is 30,000 or more, your opponent can only call grade 0s from hand. So, I mean, they can call a heal trigger.
That's fine, but still.
They can call draw PGs as well. They cannot call Sentinel Perfect Guards.
Yes.
Because they do not have grades.
Quick Hero Active Mask. When your Vanguard attacks, if it's over 30k power, you can restand it. And he actually looks like a Nova Grappler, which is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But basically restanding rear guard. So then there's this like card that just looks not so good. Maybe I'm wrong. Star King Ambassador Gingard. If your Vanguard's grade is lower than the grade of your opponent's Vanguard, this unit gets shield plus 15k. Great, so it's a 20k guard. But once again, only if you're behind. Only if you're on the kind of...
Or a grade 4 Vanguard is out.
That too, or if you go second, because your opponent...
But if you go second, you're automatically losing, right? We know this format. If you're not going first, you've lost.
You have a higher chance, yeah. But I mean, like, it's 50-50. You really... You gotta do what you gotta do.
Our draw one, discard one, perfect guard, battle heroine, and aura. So everybody's getting these in their sets as they come out.
For Grand Blue, you run 12 crits now because everyone gets a crit and Aquaforce gets a crit in front.
That is also true. The extra crit now for the Dimension Police is Dimensional Robo Die Racer. And then we have for the good guys, Operator Girl Haruka. When placed, if your Vanguard has 30k or greater, Soul Charge 1, and this unit gets power plus 5,000 until end of turn. So this is a Soul Charge, and I didn't go through the monsters. So let me go through the monsters, because a lot of them require Soul Blast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Roaring Beast Audion, obviously one of the bad guys. Once per turn, Soul Blast 1 grade 3. So if you had played that card that lets you Soul Charge itself, that grade 3, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Put any number of your rear guards into your soul, and this unit gets power plus 5, crit plus 1 until end of turn for each of them.
Mm-hmm.
So you put 5 rear guards in, you get 5 extra crits on that attack. PG or GG, as we used to say in the old days.
Yep.
Auto on the Vanguard circle when it attacks, Soul Blast 3, and until end of that battle, when your opponent would call cards from his or her hand to the guard circle, he or she must call 2 or more at the same time.
Yep. So what I've come to learn is the 2 or more cards per hand, or from hand, is really only good with lower numbers, because they're naturally going to use more than one card to guard larger numbers.
Yeah.
So that's the only bad thing. But this card's super sweet, especially for like a budget build. I could see a ton of fun being had with him, especially with Laurel, the new Laurel. He can be some pretty nutty numbers. So.
All right, Battling Leader Grigio, another grade 3. When placed, your opponent may counterblast. Wait, let me say this again. When placed, your opponent may counterblast 1. So you're forcing them to use up their counterblast. Why am I not playing these cards? These are so in line with the way that I love to play. If he or she did not, you look at 2 cards from the top of your deck and call them to the rear guard circle. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
When your Vanguard is attacked, Soul Blast 1 and move up to 2 of your rear guards to the guard circle. So you can intercept with anything on your field.
Yep, so that's a grade 3 that does not have a force gift, correct?
Grigio does not have a force gift. You are correct. It gives no gift at all. Yep,
so I've seen him being teched into other builds and whatnot. I think he's a really cool card. So
yeah, that forcing your opponent to counterblast is Vanguard circle only. So, but still, I like in budget build maybe. It looks like a lot of fun. Gene Laser, Heat Source Monster Gene Laser, grade 1 here for the bad guys. Cost rest a rear guard, and this unit gets power plus 10k until end of turn. So it's an 18k grade 1. Based on just resting another rear guard.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so this card here, I said it's a vanilla. I just can't believe it's actually real. and I don't know if it's a good guy or a bad guy. I'm pretty sure it's a bad guy. It's called Strategist Leader Sexilia. It is literally a scantily clad woman with a whip in her hand.
Okay, interesting.
Excuse me, Dimension Police, you've kind of lost your ways. All right, and then the last of the bad guys, Lethal Toxin Monster Dakgaril, grade 2. If your Vanguard is power 30k or greater, which seems like it's a D-Robo support, Counterblast 1, put this unit into your soul, draw a card, and one of your Vanguards gets power plus 15k until end of turn. So,
seems pretty good to me.
Yeah, get up to 45. So, Dimension Police doing what Dimension Police do. Big numbers, a little bit of guard restriction.
Yeah.
And with the monsters, the bad guys, the kaijus, little shenanigans here and there.
Yeah. So,
all right, Alan, it's on you. Tell me about these aquafarces.
Oh my God! Stop calling them aquafarces. So, in this set, we see support for both builds of aquaforce, which is Blue Wings and Maelstrom builds. Obviously, the big baddie and just coming out because he wants to destroy your life. Blue Storm Supreme
Glory Maelstrom?
Great closer. Okay. I mean, out of the Vanguard Circle, Counterblast 1, until the end of turn, your opponent cannot intercept, can only call one card from hand to Guardian Circle. And if your soul has another Maelstrom, everybody in your front row gets power plus 10. So, like I said, just super good card. I mean, it kills it guard restrict, which from what I was reading in Aquaforce there wasn't a lot of. And yeah, you were getting the low count of battles per turn on most of the cards, either third or fourth for some of their skills. But now Maelstrom is just... I feel like it's just a great closer for Aquaforce. Another card that I found very, very interesting was Wheel Assault. This is a great one that at the end of the battle that it boosts, you may choose 2 of your rear guards and exchange their positions. So I know before Aquaforce had something similar to this, where you would have like 2 units, like 2 grade 2s or whatever, a grade 2 behind a grade 3 or whatnot, and then they would get some sort of form or a way to switch positions after a certain number of battles. This one, it can literally happen as soon as you want it to. It doesn't have a wave. I'm gonna call them waves because that's what they were called before. It doesn't have a wave restriction, which means you can use it early in your turn. And then it also has a second skill that it's like when rode upon, you make Counterblast 1, draw a card and call a card from your hand into the rear guard circle. So it lets you build your field fairly easy, and then you can also, even at grade 1, I don't know if this one would restrict your grade calling, since it's just saying call a card from your hand to rear guard circle, but I imagine it does. So if you're still a grade 1, you can only call a grade 1.
I don't think so, because you're superior calling it. You're not normal calling it.
There you go.
But I could be wrong there.
Then we get another grade 3 dragon out here that seems to be more for the blue wing part. It's Vanguard or rear guard circle. When placed, Counterblast 1 and retire a unit from your opponent. And if it attacks, that one's on Vanguard and or rear guard. So if you're placing it like Vanguard or rear guard, you can retire a unit. And then it also has one when it attacks. If it's the first battle of that turn, the unit gets power plus 10. But that one's only on the Vanguard circle, and I really don't see how that one would be be so useful in an Aquaforce deck, especially on Blue Wings, because Blue Wings need to see those heal triggers to stand.
Who was this card? What was this card
This
again?
one's Hydra Hurricane Dragon. It's the...
Wow. What a name.
Yeah.
It's a double R grade 3. I mean, the retiring is good. The second skill, I'm like, like I don't see it being that good unless it's like your first ride and your opponent's still a grade 2 and you want to get a bigger number so like you have to guard more or whatnot. But it's still kind of like, it doesn't feel Aquaforce-y.
Yeah.
Then we have a great one called Stormrider Nikolos. This one is like a right chain type of card. It doesn't let you superior ride, but it does let you grab. When placed, look at 7 cards from the top of your deck and reveal up to 1 Marine General of the Restless Tides Algos. So it lets you look for Algos, which is one of the came out in the trial deck. It has like Vanguard Circle. If it's a second battle, Counterblast Soul Blast 1 and stand one of your rear guards. And then on Rearguard Circle, if it attacks, you can Counterblast 1 to stand them. So I feel like it's just they're trying to bring some of that right chain feel that Aquaforce also used to have before back again. But that's really, and then even if you whiff, this unit still gets a power +3, so it becomes an 11k either attacker or booster. So what else do we have here? Then we have a couple of another new grade 2 called Coral Assault. It's a dude riding a jet ski. Cause he's about that life. This one has a continuous skill on the rearguard circle that says that during the battle that it attacked, if you have 4 or more units in rest, it gets power +15k. So kind of your last attacker. You may have him like on the back row and then kind of switch him out with Wheel Assault or something. And then bring him up, and then you will have like your 4 rested rear guards and whatnot. It also says that at the end of the battle, if the number of attacks or waves was 4 or more, you can put it into the soul to draw 1. So it also gives you that draw power. Once again, I really don't know how well Aquaforce deck draws. I feel like it's just normally drawing with your draws and drive checks. I haven't seen a lot of other cards that draw, but I may be wrong. And then we have just a lot of blue wing cards coming out. And one of the things to notice for blue wings is like they have this skill that it's like once per turn when your drive check reveals a heal, you may stand this unit. So say you attack with everybody, you attack with your Vanguard, you reveal the heal, you're standing your whole field. But yeah, you have to drive check that heal, but still, I mean, you're standing your whole field. And then it also has a secondary skill on the rearguard circle. And this actually happens on Vanguard and our rearguard circle, which... Meme? When it attacks the Vanguard, if you have another unit with blue wing and its card name Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, this unit gets power +5. And if you have 4 or more other units with blue wing, it gets stand this unit instead of it getting power +5. So kind of like just fixing if you attack with it, but you never saw that heal, whatnot. When you're attacking with it, if you're not sure you're gonna see that heal and you want to restand him for another shot, you can do that with that secondary skill.
Can I play 16 heal triggers in this deck?
No.
No.
Card clearly says you may only run 4 heals.
Read your cards, Will.
Maybe they made it
RTFC,
you know,
sir.
No, maybe because they have the rules of the game, and then you have the cards which alter the rules of the game. Maybe there's a blue wing card that lets you run more heal triggers.
Except there's not, but
like look, Mike the Shipwright. Don't tell me about card count limits.
I'm just saying. I already know that there's no card that does that.
So they also have a grade 2 with 11k that if you don't have any other blue wings, it gets -5. That one is Blue Wing Obstinacy, Chimeon. Then we have another blue wing called Maxios that has a power-up skill. If you have another unit with blue wing, it has a power +5, so it's a 12k attacker from right off the bat. But if you have 4 or more, it gets power +10, so it becomes a 17. And from the feel that I've seen from all these cards, I feel like you are always going to have a lot of blue wing units outside on the field, so you will probably always have that 17k either booster or attacker, which seems good. And let's see what else we have here. And the good thing about most of these blue wing cards is they're low rarity, most of them. So budget build, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And we have this other great one that lets you search your deck for a counterblast. It says that Counterblast 1, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck and put any number of cards with blue wing in their card names from among them into your hand and shuffle your deck. So if you literally did not draw a trigger, most of your cards will have blue wings. So you'll probably be drawing at least 2 cards. Unless you're like, salty and unlucky. As Will playing Angel's Feathers.
That would be me. That's me. You are correct.
And we have this really cool grade 1 Blue Wing of Sympathy Macarios. It reads that if you have another unit with blue wing, it cannot be chosen by your opponent affects that specific card. But it says that if you have 4 or more blue wings, none of your units can be chosen. Like none of your rear guards.
So it gives them
resist, basically.
Resist.
Which I found it to be pretty good, especially since the meta's about to shift with all the retiring clans and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty solid. It's a pretty solid and it's also a common. So that's.
I don't think it does much against mass board wipe because it doesn't target, and resist specifically says it can't be targeted.
Well, this card doesn't say it gives them resist. It says that cannot be chosen by your opponent effects.
Yeah, but so mass board wipes aren't choosing.
Yeah,
it's just
correct.
Just killing.
So don't let anyone rule shark you on that. They can still go if they're mass killed with Blade Master or Hugo. Yeah, stuff like that. So be wary.
I mean, yeah. And other than that, all I saw was another. It was a grade 3 dragon that when your opponent's damage check reveals a trigger unit check during your turn, retire this unit. Choose one of your opponent's units and it gets power -10. It gets used after the
trigger is applied.
So it's a grade 3, so I don't know how much you want to run this card being a common. I feel like it's just to. We know that Axel decks kind of die to that defensive trigger. So this helps with that. I can attest to that goddamn defensive trigger with all my Nova playing lately. It really hurts, and I feel like this kind of helps with that thing. Then they also get that perfect guard, a couple of vanilla grade 1s and grade 2s. They have a grade 2 with 12k vanilla, which is pretty sweet. And and other units that give power-ups. Feel like Title and all that other people are just gonna be so good with all these new support with that wheel assault, and
yes,
it's just gonna be so good. I mean, you in Aquaforce you have to plan your attacks. You really have to like look at how many attacks you're doing, how and when and why you're doing them, and looking at your opponent, like the skills that go off with the waves / battles. And I like them. I've played against Aquaforce, and you know they do Aquaforce things, and I've always liked Aquaforce, just being powerful.
All right. Do you have anything else to go over? Aquaforce?
Not really.
So we have learned tonight that neither Alan nor Cole understands the concept of high level.
What do you mean? The longest part was yours.
You went to
Yes, it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
I will count those minutes. All right. Either way, for our short episode that we were recording tonight, we've gone for 90 minutes.
Oh my God! Why?
So we are going to close out. Please give us a review on iTunes. If you see Zach Boydus in the street, say thank you for that intro music. If you see Jeremy Woods in the street, say his new dog is real cute, and thank him for the outro music. If you'd like to contribute to our Patreon, patreon.com/drivecheck. If you would please watch our YouTube videos, maybe someday we'll have our own custom URL. But we are going to be putting up more competitive battles and everything like that on our YouTube. So look for that to come up. That's going to be fun. Our website is officially launched with links to all of our past episodes on YouTube, so you can play them while you're at work. Drivecheck.net. And then if you want to write us an email to say, Will, yours was the shortest segment, drivecheckpodcast@gmail.com. You want to tell us how excited you are because you're coming to GenCon to see us, drivecheckpodcast@gmail.com. That's cool. Also, if anybody's coming to DC for Pokemon Worlds, I'm kind of required to be here, so hit me up. You can get us on Twitter @drive_check. If you want to reach me directly, William Anderson, it's @WashInTheSink. Cole, tell me.
But real quick, are we talking about the fourth event that may or may not have just gotten approved?
Not until we know that it's approved or not.
So after this is
Released?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to have to email and do those kinds of notifications to people.
Okay. I am at Cole_McCune, COLE_MCCUNE.
Cool. You can find me at the tallest IT guy. Funniest Twitter handle ever.
That's
For
not
me,
true.
it is.
Hey, Alan.
Yeah.
Go ahead and close this out there.
Oh,
Chief.
awesome. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Drive Check Podcast. Blessed are the true knights, despairs to those who do not qualify. Ooh, who's this? Black Mane Witch. Nice. So if you're not a knight, out. Peace out.
Is that a Shadow Paladin?
It's a gold paladin.
It must be.
It's a gold paladin.
what
It's a gold paladin?
Mhm.
It is a gold paladin.
Yep.
It's a promo.
I think it's like one of the Spectral Duke era.
It probably is.
It's a promo actually, so it's one of the earliest promos.
PR007.
So yes, if it's a so if it's a or 70.
PR0018 in English though.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a pretty early gold paladin, which means it would have been a shadow and a warrior put together. But anyway,
Yeah.
Awesome, guys.